Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wish you having a nice day here. Weather is still very good in UK. Yesterday was 26, 27. Today is the same, 24, 25. Alhamdulillah. Today we're talking about another difficult subject. You remember last week we talked about I'm not a thief. Today we need to talk about our enemies. When I was in Iraq 2 weeks ago, we were there giving a lot of workshops between Arbil and Baghdad after attending the conference organized by the Iraqi Red Crescent and the community of the Red Crescent societies in the Arab region. On the plane from Baghdad to Istanbul, I was accompanied by Mr. Tariq Abdul Alim, the CEO of Islamic Leaf Germany, and Mr. Fadi Skandarani, the CEO of the Union Orphan Care Federation in Istanbul. And we had a discussion about Yamkuruna wa Yamkurullah. They deceive and Allah deceive better. Why? Because everybody talking about the gloomy socio-political atmosphere that is covering the whole world. The gloomy, unethical, and unmoral values that we are implementing nowadays, even through the scholars, so-called scholars and teachers of different religions. And the gloomy, the not political only, the political values of independence, democracy, and the others which is being narrated by chief politicians in different parts of the world. That's why we have to divide our discussion into two parts. Part, Fadi Skandarani and Tariq Abdul Alim were talking about, it is what are the enemies of the sites are doing. But the other part is what we should be doing. Okay? This was a discussion happened on the plane between Arbil and Baghdad. Before we go there, let us define what belief means. Belief, my iman. Belief is iman, my belief. For me, as I wrote it here, it is a dynamic movement of life inside my body, whether I'm a male or female. The dynamic belief is the dynamic movement of life inside my body. Okay? What this dynamic movement will do, such a life shines on society. Such a belief should shine on the society. Around me or him. To bring out what? It is significance, the significance of society, and the positive connotation of society to enable us to develop the society. So let me say it again and again and again. Belief is the dynamic movement of life inside the body of a man or a woman. Such a life shines on society around him to bring out its significance, okay, and positive connotations, enabling its development, the development of society. Society will be shining around the shining of your iman, which is coming from your heart and your body. This is iman. That's why in this diagram, you see, look at the green bar in the middle. This is the iman in your body. This is your body. Between the two pink and the middle one, which is the orange. And these circles in the middle here is the connection of shining of the iman to the body itself. But it goes out from the body here into the society here, which is connecting the movement there. You see these circles here, moving every dimension in life, significance in the life of society, significance, the positive connotation in society to come to shine around your iman in your body. All right? Let us talk about what our enemy is doing in a very brief, because I can put a list of 100, 500, 1,000, and I can let you to live in despair the more you talk about what your enemies or what is the enemies of society are doing to your society or to my society. First of all, they spread rumors and anarchy in any society. They are very good at that through media. Second is frightening and threatening the public, making the public to be afraid and scared and cannot think properly. Three, creating and recruiting their agents from the elite, which you never believe that such a scholar of Islam or scholar of Christianity or scholar of whatever it is or such a highly educated man will say what he or she is saying. Not only from the elite, but from the common. Fighting against whom? Against knowledge, to spread ignorance. Against scholars, to bring muppets. Against scientists, to bring ignorant, uneducated, with PhD and with master to talk about science. Fighting against scholars, scientists, education, and spreading of ignorance. And they are spreading ignorance. Creating new social climate with different moral values, corrupt moral values, with different role models, with different legends, because the climate became different. It's not the same like it was in the 50s of last century, 60s, 70s, or during the prophethood of all the prophets who came to save humanity from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the time of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Creating new social climate, having a new and strange moral value to the society. That's why your grandfather and your father keep telling you, my son, my daughter, we never did this during our time, or during my father's time, or during my grandfather's time, or my grandmother's time. Creating new social legends, as I said earlier, promoting the new strange moral values. You see, all these kind of things, they keep doing it to keep you confused, not most of the time, but all the time. To make you, to change you from an active member of the society to armchair warriors, giving lectures, analytical understanding of what they say, keeping you busy. Okay? Changing realities, community principles, and moral values. Change, keep changing things. Keep changing. I've got a lot of research institute. And they tell you, based on this research paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wrong. Go back to your original teaching, to their own moral value, and to the teaching of your prophet, and the teaching to the elite and the legend that you realize they have built society beforehand and create civilization and build renaissance and stick to them. Most of what we see of research papers are fake. Dividing society, this is very strange and very important. This is what we see nowadays. Dividing societies culturally, religiously, ethnically, geographically, morally, and on sectarian grounds. Even coming to your family, inside your family. Even splitting the family, the children to one side, the mother to one side, the father to one side. Even on a sports ground, those people support this team, those people support this team, let us fight. Fight for what? For somebody kicking a ball or a football in a box and becomes enemies. I remember in the 60s, it was Ahli and Zamalek playing in Zamalek, and was Zamalek won. And there was a goal with suspicion. And when we came out of the stadium, somebody say, Ahli supporter come this way, Zamalek supporter come this way, and we start to stand against one another as armies, as enemies. This is 50 years ago. Changing religion into what? Rituals. The color of your dress, the length of your beard, the mascara on your eyes, okay? The length of your tasbih, okay? The size of your turban. What is this? The chanting and singing and dancing. I have never seen companions of the Prophet ﷺ dancing or jumping in the air. What is going on? Changing it into a ritual. And you come out satisfied because you done the effort. What is this? Changing religion into ritual and into sedatives. One of the things Karl Marx used to say, religion is the opium of nations. He could be right in that. We're changing it to become an opium, to become tramadol, to become sedative, become tranquilizer, unfortunately. Assassination of scientists, scholars, see it nowadays. Quite a few have been killed here and there, different countries, youngsters and old people. Scientists, scholars, community and political leaders as well. Assassination of scientists, scholars, community leaders and political leaders. Forcing people displacement. What you can see, Syria, Yemen, Libya, Iraq, Myanmar, which is Rohingya people, DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and. This is what they do, okay? This is what Yamkurun. For me, what you need to do, what's our makr, what's our plan, what's our strategy with this kind of people? Okay? 5 principles, based on 5 principles. Number 1, we have to have yaqeen and to believe strongly from the depth of our heart that we are extremely rich. As individuals, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us to be His custodian on earth. He put in our body all the mechanisms and techniques and tools to become the great change makers. If we do the effort, if we spend the time, if we spend our money, and if we focus on what we're doing. So I have to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنِّي جَعَلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, I am going to make a custodian for me on earth. I am the custodian. Allah will never make a custodian for him on earth unless he or she has got all the elements, the principles, which can make him or her a custodian. I am rich. You have to believe in yourself that you are rich. Then you have to believe that your country is extremely rich. Your country has been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only to serve the 5 million people nowadays living on it, but to serve the 100 million people who are actually going to live on it in 500 years to come. Why? Because Allah in His knowledge know that on such a day after 1,000 years 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million will live there. So the resources inside the land that you are living on is very rich, sufficient for the maximum number of people who are going to live there, and there's 3,000 and 3,500. Role of my family. I'm not going to be attracted to just a beautiful woman or a rich man. No, you have to get the man. تنكح المرأة لأربعة أشياء. You marry the woman for 4 things: for her beauty, for her deen, for her manner, for her family, for her wealth. And Prophet ﷺ said, go for the one with the deen, with the religion. And for the man, you sister, you brother, marry the one who is equivalent to you, but with the religion. I need to get this handsome man, 6 foot tall, 7 foot tall, has got his curly hair, or his long hair, or his eyes, or his eyebrow. Doesn't work. It will never bring society. You and him will fight from the first day. So you have to get the value of the family and the teaching of your mother, the teaching of your grandmother, the teaching, the role of woman, the role of the mother in the family is extremely crucial for the upbringing of the children. We talked about human resources, natural resources. We talked about natural resources. There is a lot of natural resources in our land, but we don't it. We waste it. We mismanage them. Social innovation. We have to look at all the social innovation in the society and accumulate them and learn from them and improve them. Okay? Learning and benefiting from whom? From modern social change in different parts of the world. I'm living in such a country, but 5,000 miles there's a social change happening here. 2,000 miles there's social change happening here. 100 miles there's social change. I have to learn from the experience of others, of the social change. The revolution, the state in in South Africa, in Liberia, in Rwanda, in different countries, in Brazil, in Latin America, everywhere. In Singapore, everywhere. The Second World War, what happened to, what is done to Germany and Japan. Now I learn from the experiment of Germany and Japan to be able to do the same. Benefiting from experience and knowledge and resources of whom? Of our migrant community. Look, if we're looking at UK now, how about the Pakistani community who came as migrant labor forces from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh? Okay, you people in Pakistan, in India, Bangladesh, learn from the cumulative knowledge of your sons and daughters in UK, in the West, in the Middle East, in America. How many from Lebanon, abroad, 12 million. From Egypt, 9 to 10 million. From Algeria, from Iraq, from Yemen, from what else? Palestine. Those people have to be the source of knowledge for us, and we have to learn from them. This is on your table. Benefiting from, and even if we find that there's a temporary period of a conducive climate, political climate, get your opportunity at that time. Even for 6 months, even for 1 year, build on it. Be opportunist in this very short-term period of positive climate, political climate change. Benefiting from valuable and even a few social political opportunities is the same. It happens a number in certain countries, and in the first 2 years of the life of the new president, it was excellent. Then it changed. We should have learned to benefit from these first 2 years. Keep working. Here is my cry for youth, male and female. Don't stop working. Don't stop trying. Don't stop failing till you become successful. Never stop. Never stop. Never stop. They wanted to kill Jesus, alayhi salam. صح? They wanted to kill Moses, alayhi salam. صح? Yes? They wanted to kill Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi salam, alayhi salam. صح? They killed the Prophet Zakaria. They killed the Prophet, his father, Yahya. And so on, so on, so. So when you look at all this, those prophets have kept trying and trying and trying and trying till they succeeded. They never stopped working. So don't be scared or afraid or be saddened of losing one battle or one experiment or failing once or twice or 100 times, even 100 times. Second principle is to become independent. How to become independent? First of all, we have to build, I keep saying this, no way, to build strong civil society sector and organization and independent. Second, to have diverse skills, selected, gifted, intelligent education. We have to change our education system to be skills education, okay, to discover the gifted children and increase the capacity of them in the subject they like. Not to give them 20, 30 subjects or 15, 20 subjects or 10, 15 subjects and they failed in 10 or 15 or 14 and they excel in one. Okay? Skills education. Okay? Free social societal education. I have to lead the society to create a new social education based on the needs of the grassroots of the society. This kind of current state education is become out of date, become rotten, become a sign of backwardness of any society. Manual skills, manual skills education, skills education, and home-based productivity. We have to make every individual at home being able to be productive, to produce what the local market needs. Build open community markets, start with small workshops and small industrial units, have to be investing our time and effort in agriculture sector and agriculture and animal product, then complementing social partners. Partnership has to be built. No one group No one group will be able to build this system to counter the enemy's plan. Clear? Number 3, value and cultural education. We have to add to the curriculum at any school, at any community school, at any state school, at any education system, the culture and the values that we have. Different kinds. We have to let the students to believe and believe in my country, in my history, in my religion, in my legend, in all this kind of thing, different kind of beliefs. It does not stand only at the level of religious belief. Patriotism. I have to be patriotic to my country, no doubt. I have to die and defend my country. I have to look at our social values, to believe in my social values. I have to believe in the community culture. In any society nowadays, there's no one culture. In one village even. Needless to say, a country which have got maybe 5,000, 10,000 villages, and about governorate, maybe 20 or 30 governorate, and maybe 50 cities and towns and whatever it is, different culture for different towns and villages and cities. Diverse history, we have to put this on the table for us. Social awareness. Most of highly educated, PhD and doctors and others, don't understand what do you mean by awareness. Don't understand what do you mean by actually realism or realities. They don't live in the surrounding. They don't know the surrounding. They cannot stand up for advocacy, in spite of the fact that they are highly educated from this university, or he's a professor, or she's a professor, but they are waste of time. Because education is not on only this kind of highly specialized point that you become specializing and you get it, but it is on the community as a whole. So if we look at them, different kinds of belief, national patriotism, social values, community values, diverse history, social awareness, very important, realization of the challenge, and advocacy. This is value and cultural education. Number 4, we have to produce leaders for the future generation. No doubt. We can't live without producing those people. And that we need actually to teach them scientifically, technically, and scientific technical services rehabilitation. Yani in science, technology, and social. Okay? Number 2, they have to have a clear vision, message, mission, strategy, aims, and objective. You want to create a leader, he or she has to have this. Education, number 1. Number 2, clarity of vision, message, mission, strategy, aims, and objective. Number 3, rehabilitation of transparency. You have to teach the future leaders how he or she can be transparent with the society, because they become servants of the society. Trust building and leadership qualities. We have to build the capacity of those young leaders. Then to let them to trust the community, to trust one another, not to fight one another, not to follow a different agenda. Okay? Trust building and leadership capacity. Next, encouraging new initiatives. Let the youth to take as much initiative, as many initiatives as they can, and they fail as much as they want to become successful after that. Encouraging new initiatives, social service projects, okay? Let them to take the project, and let them to fail, and operational and field experiments. They have to go to the field. It's not when you sit at home inside the box which is called the computer, they are going to change the world. You have to go out, roll up your sleeve and your trouser, and work and help the community. Having local role models. What are our role models? Okay? What are our role models? What are our legends? We have to put them forward to educate our youngsters. Mentoring, openness, knowledge, and experience transfer. Any role model has to mentor the youngsters, has to transfer the knowledge, has to be open with them. So learn from them. It's a duty. It's haram nowadays. It's forbidden that I or others who have experience and anybody do not transfer such knowledge to the youngsters. Last one, which is partnership, and bridge building. This is where we can actually produce the new leadership. Number 5, which is conformity, which I call it tawfiq min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tawfiq min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, come back to the original picture of belief. If you have this belief, okay, strong belief inside your heart, then Allah will look at your intention, Allah will look at your absolute certainty, Allah will look at your determination, Allah will look at entrusting, forgiveness, you entrust, and actually how forgiveful you are, and how thankfulness you are, how thankful you are, how have actually, you have in the conformity after the belief, intention, absolute certainty, determination, entrusting, forgiveness, thankfulness, review, and accountability. None of us will be above the law. You have to be accountable to any member of society. Whether this member was a young, little, miserably looking boy or a girl, or an old and sick, poor man and woman. You have to be accountable for those people because you are, or I am, or she is their servants. So once Allah look at your belief here, then He look at your intention and found that these are your principles, conformity will come to you, and the magnitude of success will be showered upon you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all these fake plans by the enemies of societies will die down, will disappear. Okay? This is the family, or one of the families. That's why I'm very attached to the farm lands and to the farmers and to the farming industry and the animal industry. A family here is working together, young girl, young boy, mother and father, and everybody around them. This is what will build a strong society. People can think that this looks like a mosque, this looks like a castle. No, it's the community that will protect it from outside. See this border here, and from inside. It has got 5 towers. Each tower has a role to play, which is the 5 principles I put for you in the discussion. This from outside. We have to protect our society from inside and from outside. Okay? And if we zoom in to any of these towers, find that very solidly built. You built the tower from inside. Concrete, strong, adhesive, to prevent any lunatic from infiltrating your society. To conclude, today, you know who could be the enemies of our society? Could be me. Because I sit, I do nothing. I sit and I talk about what others are doing. I sit and discuss points which could depress anybody who is listening to me. I have to be the one who change the society, who become the change maker. Because if I keep listening to the talk show, whether it's from this group or this group, I become depressed. I could be enlightened by some of them, but not following all of them. Because I'll have nothing, no time, no much time to build, to construct, to teach, to educate, to guide, to take people by the hand. Get the guidance, start and go. Okay, and don't stop. I don't want myself to be the enemy. I only become the enemy if I sit down and listen and cross my legs and on my armchair and be the warrior. If they have done this, if they have done that, if they have done this, if they have done that, what have you done? As a man or a woman, what have you been doing as a young man and a young woman? Shut up if you can't do what the community needs from you. Start up with a very small initiative and be patient for years till the fruits of your initiatives will become very, very clear to the society. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll see you next week, inshallah. Same time, same day, in English and Arabic. Wa jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.